The 150R is designed to look like the CBR 250R, but dimensionally it's a slightly smaller motorcycle. This works wonders for the design because all the panels are flatter and more muscular, giving the motorcycle a sense of civilized aggression. There are little details like the tip in the painted plastic over the headlamp and other visual indicators vis-a-vis the 250. But the easiest way to tell them apart are, of course, the tires and the shorter, stubbier exhaust. I really like the styling job on the 150R, and that's a big statement because I don't really like the CBR 250R that much. That said, there are a couple of bits that don't really work. For instance, the switchgear that Honda has selected for this motorcycle reminds me strongly of the Stunner. There isn't an engine switch, there is not a day flash, and it just cheapens your impression of the motorcycle a little bit. Similarly, if you look at the meters, the CBR 250R had brushed metal surrounds around the rev counter. Then this motorcycle doesn't get them, and again, the impression of how expensive this motorcycle comes down. But overall, I think it's a very nice looking motorcycle, but it could have been better. The CBR uses an over-square single-cylinder engine with a 6-speed gearbox. It's a high-revving unit that produces 12.7 Nm of torque at 8500 RPM, followed by 17.8 PS of peak power at 10,500. It should therefore be a rev-hungry beast, but unfortunately, it isn't. In traffic, the lack of low-down torque is immediately obvious, and the Honda feels even slower than the R15. But the problems really begin when, despite enthusiastic use of the throttle and the slick gearbox, the performance just doesn't take off. Ride quality is a very nice blend of the well-damped and sporty stiff. It doesn't waft over the bumps like, say, the Hero Impulse, nor is it anywhere close to being as gnarly as the KTM 200 Duke. And where the CBR 250R is softer and can feel wallowy as a result, the 150R feels secure, damped and nearly as comfortable as its bigger brother, while still feeling neat and tidy in the corners. The Honda is priced at 1.27 lakh rupees ex-showroom Mumbai for the deluxe version I'm riding, which makes it 1,000 rupees more expensive than the R15 and about 4,000 rupees more than the KTM Duke. The problem is, the Honda follows the R15 into the market after 4 years and still does not offer the same performance as the R15, and that makes the buying proposition a little weak.
Okay, tell me something. In a relationship, when there's a breakup, what happens? You know, both the people are shattered, everything goes haywire, they're heartbroken. But that is not what happened to Honda after this split with Hero. They got all aggressive in the motorcycle market, and in fact, the CBR 150R, which you got to see at the Auto Expo, that's all set to hit the Indian roads. And Shams got an exclusive ride on one. You want to take a look? Take a look at this.
Well, the month of February wasn't too good for most Indian two-wheeler makers because the amount of sales they expected never came, barring one, Honda, because they have an amazing product portfolio, and adding to that list is the new Honda CBR 150R. Honda, it seems, is going in reverse gear, not in its sales, but in displacement. World's largest bike maker first got the CBR 1000RR to India, then came the CBR 250, and now the CBR brand has made its foray into the mass market segment in the country. The 150cc segment has evolved a lot in the last few years. The buyer now wants more power and looks of a superbike, while mileage has taken a backseat. Honda is aiming to fit that bill perfectly with this new CBR 150R. While talking about the lineage, the 150R has a tough act to follow, following the entire CBR family, and Honda wants to promote this bike as a racing bike, and the fact that the design of this bike is inspired from the RC212D, the MotoGP champion bike of last year, that's not a bad start at all. And considering the fact that Casey Stoner sat on something like this to win the MotoGP, you won't really mind being on a bike like this. The first thing you get reminded of when you see this bike is the Yamaha's R15, but go closer and the CBR 150 presents a whole new picture. The digital instrument panel, the fairing and the grab handle play their part in making the bike look appealing. There's a split seat for the pillion and angular exhaust plays its part. The list doesn't end there with a new graphic design, dual LED full body cowling and the Y-shaped headlight which literally stares at you, all making a mark. However, a kill switch and a gear shift indicator are sorely missed on this new CBR.
courtesy Honda, I think we got just the perfect place to do a test ride of the new Honda CBR 150R. We're shooting on the Honda test track right now inside its plant in Manesar outside Gurgaon. And this place is just full of obstacles and challenges, and that will help you test this bike in a much better way. There's a speed breaker, huge big speed breakers, railway tracks, rumble strips, there's a water crossing also. I'm not getting in there, but all these things will surely help you in getting to know this bike in a much better way.
The Honda plant's track is devoid of too many curves, but it offers you everything else. The straight stretch helps you test both the acceleration and pickup, and a host of obstacles are there to tell you the right quality as well as the reliability of things like the monoshock and the twin tubular frame. The tubular frame increases the stability of the bike, and that means it's a joy to be on the CBR 150R. The ride position is more upright, unlike the R15, and that for a bike that wants to have a racing DNA is laudable. The 17.6 bhp liquid-cooled engine, according to Honda, gives maximum output with minimum effort, but it misses out on something equally important: torque. Even when you don't want to, you are still forced to shift down gears.
You know what the problem is with the CBR brand name? We expect a lot more power, bigger engines, and that is not there in the CBR 150R. But the fact that this bike gives you 18 bhp of power is not bad at all. The only problem that I have is the fact that the engine is not as torquey. The need to shift down gears is much more, and that is not good at all for a bike that is being promoted as a racing bike.
Essential for a bike that wants to get into racing is great pickup. The CBR 150 can be better at that. But what makes up for it is the front and rear disc brakes, the mono suspension, and wide front and rear tubeless tires. The CBR 150R is available in two variants, Standard and Deluxe. The Deluxe model comes with sporty graphics and the vibrant orange with pearl sunbeam white color. Honda launched the bike just one day before the budget at 1.16 lakh rupees,